feel good about a pathetic loser that was presented as knowledgeable about. He's talking about getting owned. My God, how can you possibly debate on stream with this little background knowledge? Just the secondhand cringe is unbearable. Bad empanada, totally embarrassed. Loner box here had to beg on his knees to be taught. Wait, what?
Just to withdraw support from Israel. To start actually
What is
denouncing
this?
it rather than just denouncing it, you know, every now and again. Oh, you know, like, shit, is Israel killed a journalist? We are very concerned with the human rights, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That's nowhere near good enough. That's not, you know, that's nothing, right? You can be like,
I'm just going to ask you the same question when you're done, by the way.
Bad. Yeah, okay, then you're not listening at all. You're just going to ask, if you're just going to ask me the same question, you're not going to adapt it, you're not going to think about what I'm saying, then it's obvious.
Well, it's because you don't have it's because you don't have an answer. It's because you know that getting a nuclear power to abolish itself is not going to happen.
Are you aware that's literally happened?
How?
The USSR.
Okay.
South Africa.
Right.
Like, did you think that was a gotcha?
I'm still asking you how you expect Israel to do it. How do you expect Israel to do it?
Like, what do you mean, how do you expect Israel to do it? Do you
Wait, in the same process that took place for South Africa. South Africa is the best method. Like, South Africa is the method. It's the movement. It's BDS. It's the same movement.
you think they're gonna, like, Israel is gonna be the same as it is now and they're gonna go down bombing everyone?
I mean, given that they're kind of run by religious fanatics, probably. Yeah.
They're not actually run by quote unquote religious fanatics. A lot of them are secular fanatics.
Okay.
But South Africa was run by the same sorts of racial fanatics. International pressure brought down apartheid. Now a black government is in power. Why can't we do the same thing here?
Did South Africa have... I actually know this. You can tell me. I thought South Africa ended its nuclear program in 1989.
South Africa ended... No, yeah, they ended the nuclear program before allowing black people the right to vote for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But the fact is, they didn't go down launching nukes as you were sort of implying they would there. So there's
also what kind of argument is this to be like, yeah, they'll just nuke the world. We just have to keep letting Israel do apartheid shit. I mean, he's Googling it live, but like, regardless, checking the Wikipedia page to figure out when the South African nuclear disarmament occurred doesn't change the dynamic at all. It also doesn't make sense. Like, the argument doesn't make sense. Like, oh, what? Like, the Samson option exists, so I guess like we just have to let Israel do whatever the fuck it wants? Like, what do you mean? Wait, what's the obvious reason? What do you mean? Yeah, they didn't want black people to have, they didn't want a country that was no longer an apartheid that could possibly be run by black people to have nukes. The only countries that are outside, the only countries that are run by, you know, black and brown people that are allowed to have a nuclear program or nukes in general are either ones that have escaped the throes of Western colonial violence and become a hegemonic power like themselves, or a hegemonic power in their own right, China, or countries that are still directly controlled as countries that are still directly controlled by the United States' State Department interests, like Pakistan. Pakistan actually is a really interesting example of this case because currently there is a tremendous amount of violence unfolding by the military that runs the country that is directly in the pocket of the United States of America. The only brown and black countries that are allowed to have nukes are only allowed to have nukes as long as they are good servants of U.S. empire. DPRK is a hegemonic power? Fuck yeah, baby. That's what I'm taught. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Jucha, it's real. It's here. It's happening. They got motion. They're sending troops to Ukraine. It's so stupid to say this, but yes, countries that have developed their own nuclear programs outside of the orbit of influence of the Western superpowers. And think about how long that has taken. Think about how long that has taken to even get to that point. We still don't know if they fucking have nukes. Why doesn't Saudi Arabia have nukes? Don't worry. Don't worry. It's coming. I don't know if you guys heard. Just, watch this space, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I can't say what I've said about my criticisms of offering Saudi Arabia a nuclear program, because when I say those things, then Fox News clips it and acts like I'm in favor of Saudi Arabia getting nukes or whatever, but
South Africa was run by the same sorts of racial fanatics. International pressure brought down apartheid. Now a black government is in power. Why can't we do the same thing here?
Did South Africa have... I actually know this. You can tell me. I thought South Africa ended its nuclear program in 1989.
South Africa ended... No, yeah, they ended the nuclear program before allowing black people the right to vote for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But the fact is, they didn't go down launching nukes as you were sort of implying they would there. So there's an example. There's examples of international pressure, right? South Africa went from like massive support across like the EU, the US held that until the end, but across like most of the most powerful countries in the world over the course of like 20, 30 years to essentially being bullied into giving up power.
So we probably have
why can't that happen in Israel?
We have to disarm Israel probably before getting...
I understand black and brown, but which of the countries that you just listed are run by black people? What do you mean? South Africa is the country that is now run by black people that was, that disarmed its, that ended its nuclear program. Disarmed themselves.
We didn't disarm South Africa.
Well, they ended their
They
weapon
agreed
program.
to end apartheid.
Okay.
They ended the weapon program during the end of the white supremacy. Just the withdrawal.
This says North Korea does have nukes. I don't know about that. Everyone always says North Korea and Iran have nukes, but maybe. I still have the HasanAbi Doctrine, a guide, the nation building meme picture. If you don't have nukes, get them. Refuse to give up the nukes if asked. Yeah.